All right, guys. So this is the second update on the Rx7. Right, what you see in front of you right now are the drive shaft shop, high performance axles for the Rx7 when you do the Ford 8.8 rear end in it. So I'm waiting on the inner splines that go into the diff to come back because I thought they were wrong. But there was more to the story than that. You can see up here on the other side of the fuel pump, I have the knuckles, the rear knuckles that have essentially the bigger hubs pressed into them to accept the upgraded axles, and then they have the ARP extended studs on them as well. And then they're just cleaned up, bead blasted, and what's it called? Clear coated. And that's pretty much it. This is really where the rest of the magic happens. So I'm going to move some stuff out the way real quick and get underneath here. So what we got here is the 8.8 kit installed into the FD. So basically what you do is you take a stock subframe and then you weld these crossbars that you get from Ronin. It's a company called Ronin, into the subframe. And then that allows you to mount up the Ford 8.8 rear housing. Okay, so it takes welding, it takes you removing the old subframe, and it does take some kind of clearancing of the underbody of the car. You can kind of see where I did some hammer hits and stuff like that. And I also went ahead at the same time upgraded the drive shaft from PST with a 3.5 inch aluminum drive shaft. Upgraded end units, billet parts, splines, etc. So it can support 900 horsepower, 850 horsepower, no problem. Kind of overbuilt it, and I'm sure it can do more than that, but that's what I did. And then the 8.8, the actual housing itself, has an Eaton LSD installed into it. So when I was building this whole thing out, the 8.8 calls for, or the majority of how you do it is you do the 31 spline. You do the 31 spline axles. Okay. The problem is my 31 splines weren't fitting into this housing, and it turns out that Eaton also makes a 28 spline LSD. So I ordered a 31 spline. The box was a 31 spline, and I think what happened is a 28 spline was kind of put in the box. So I bought, and after going back and forth with DSS and trying to just figure out what was going on, we found out that it was 28 spline. And I ordered different inners for the axles. So those should be arriving today. Once I set that all back up, I can shove it all together. All my suspension should be able to go back on, and I'll be able to reassemble the rear end with the new brakes. So that's kind of what I've been doing over the last couple months, just kind of gathering parts and then getting them ready to this big rear end swap. So surprisingly, all the old FD stuff sold pretty quickly. Someone got the axle, someone bought the diff, someone bought the spare subframe that I had, someone bought the T56 to FD drive shaft, someone bought the Sandberg diff mount kit, like the when you remove the power plant frame, you have to support it, so there's like a support bar, so something about that. So all that stuff went pretty quick, so FD parts still sell fairly good. So luckily that happened. I can put it all in. I got all new bushings, I got Super Pros in the uppers, brand new pillow ball from J Auto on this other upright, and then you can see that the Neo Maxes, the silver Neo Maxes, still look good, along with I put new bushings on the sway bar because it was 18 mil and the ones I had were pretty beat up. So still running the battle version arms and the Megan lowers. They've done good, and color combo is not great, but when I was buying everything, a lot of stuff was on back order for months and months, so it is what it is. And then besides that, I also did a different vented front hood, so no more stock hood, which is a hole cut out. We got a vented hood now with different mounts and everything like that. So the FD is really starting to come together, and I might post more videos later, but right now I'm just working on getting the rear end back in, getting the fuel setup back in, and then working on some of the interior stuff as well, making sure everything works and is kind of just updated. So really appreciate you guys tuning in, and yeah, more dates to come. Thanks.